All right, good afternoon. Welcome, Miller and Condon, getting our Monday underway on the Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent Condon and Ken Miller for the next couple of hours, talking sports with you. Thanks for starting here with us. A busy program. Here's what's coming up on our guest list here today. In about 25 minutes, our friend Scott Doctorman from The Athletic, he will join us. He won't be here next week. Big Ten meetings in L.A., so Doc will be covering those. In a couple of weeks, we'll have plenty to recap with him. We've got a lot to do today with Doc, as one of his babies that he's been working on the last couple of weeks published finally the survey amongst Big Ten fans. We'll talk about that with Doc. Sounds as though Notre Dame and USC seemingly trying to jumpstart those talks again to bring that series back, but a lot of conversation on college football and on the Big Ten with Scott Doctorman coming up at 12:25. Joe O'Donnell, Game 4 tonight. Avs up 2-1 in their series. Joe will join us at 12:45 to preview game number 4, standalone NHL game tonight, 7 o'clock puck drop there. Hour number 2, Matt Snyder in his spot talks MLB baseball with us. You know what? If you're going to have replay, just get the damn thing right. Did you see the Cubs game yesterday at all?
I did not know. Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah, you're a little busy. I get it. Later. But Matt Snyder will talk MLB baseball. And look forward to that segment each and every week. And then Bill Seals on Iowa State, recruiting moves, etc. With football, with basketball. Bill Seals coming up at 1:30. Trent will make some picks at about 1:50 or so. Circus Sports sponsor those. And by the way, if you've been listening, you can your chance to win a trip. Experience Circa the Miller and Condon way. And that will be going out there, part of our 25th anniversary of KXNO's Silver Anniversary. Go to KXNO.com for more details, but somebody's going to win a hell of a package. 5 others are going to win a really nice trip, but the grand prize is really, really good. We're going to be out there second week in August, right? The week of the fair that starts on Friday. We'll be there to begin that week.
Yes, we'll be there going out there Sunday evening. There's an evening flight that goes out direct from Legion, going out on the 9th, and we'll be back on Wednesday, August 12th.
Yep.
And we talked about the little workaround. Look, if you win the contest, that's great.
Yep.
But they have the all-in package right now, and you can schedule. So get your trip set up. Go out there when we're going to be out there. If you win, you can cancel. You can move your Vegas trip maybe to another time, or use that flight to go somewhere else. Get everything set up beforehand, and then if you win, hey, you're working even better. You're going to have a great opportunity out at Circa. Going to be so much fun.
Well, the all-in package is unbelievable.
It really is.
It really is.
It's $400, 2 nights, and you get a $100 beverage credit and a $100 food credit.
Keep going.
Day bed. And I think there's something else in there too.
Well, no resort fees.
And no resort fees, absolutely.
No taxes, resort fees. That's a pretty good deal.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they will kill you at most of the properties. Not kill you, but it adds up very quickly, to say the very least. All right, fun weekend in sports. I do want, just real quick, I don't want to harp on it because every team gets bad calls. But when you go to replay, you expect it to be done properly, right? And what I'm referring to, DeGrom was unbelievable yesterday. Tyon was just not just as good, but he pitched really well. But Jacob DeGrom looked like, the best pitcher in baseball again. It's a tight game. It's 0-0. There's a play at the plate. They gave the home plate umpire ruled the base runner safe, 1-0 Ranger. Counsel goes, put the headphones on, need to take a look at this one. The replay clearly shows the tag being administered at home plate. Everybody saw it that was watching the game. Rangers fans saw it. Cubs fans saw it. Baseball saw it. The group that was monitoring in New York, they didn't see it.
Saw it a different way.
Trent, there's no other way to see it. There's no other way to see it.
There's nothing.
Nothing. He's out.
There is no way that you could say,
nope.
Because of this.
You can see one shot that makes it look close. You go to the play, the shot from kind of where the dugout. He's clearly out. But if you're going to use replay, use it properly, get it right. And if it would have been the Rangers that got screwed, I'd have been the same way. Just get it right. Anyways.
I'm watching the play right now. Okay, I see it in real time. All right, see, okay, maybe he slid underneath it. All right, here's Counsel. He's, gives the ear signal. There it is. Yeah. Slides. He is safe.
Yeah, keep going.
Safe.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm watching the replay from over top.
No, he's out by a mile. You're the only one that's got him safe so far. Well, not you. You and the guys in New York.
Oh, yeah, now he's out.
Yeah, now he's out.
I've seen the slow down one. Yeah,
he's out.
A little bit more behind the play.
He's out by a foot.
The over top,
it looks like he's safe.
Absolutely.
But they show
they do have other angles, though.
You would think. And maybe they got busy at the time, but regardless, it's one game. It's one of $1.62.
Right.
It was a hell of a baseball game yesterday. Let's talk about the NBA because that's the story that's kind of reverberating here today. I don't know how you can make a case for Wembanyama that he got screwed. I mean, I really don't. That's as egregious is. You know what? Your height is an advantage in the game. Don't use that as a disadvantage. I had no other choice. I'm a tall person. You got him right in the chops. Naz Reid, I mean, he got him, Trent.
Yes.
There's going to be no further discipline. He's going to play tomorrow night. I think that's a great I think it's a great move.
Are you surprised by that, though?
Kind of, yes. But you know what? It kind of goes back on. If this would have been late in the game, okay, maybe. It was early. It was early in the game.
But should that matter?
Well,
I don't think it should. If it is something that is...
As a guy who's rooting for the Timberwolves, I'm on your side of the argument.
That is deemed necessary to eject him. It doesn't matter if it's in the first quarter, the fourth quarter, ejectable, and then you go back and look at it. I'm glad that they made the decision quickly.
Yes.
You did not want something that was going to linger throughout all today and into tomorrow, and he won't. Yeah, you had to make the decision quickly, but there's prior precedent. And we've seen this in playoffs.
Yeah, there have been.
Where guys throw elbows very similar.
Ron Artest.
Now, Ron Artest had...
You can background.
A few extra layers.
Yeah, he's got a rap sheet.
Yes.
Wembanyama, this is strike one.
Yes, he's never been ejected before in a game.
Right.
This is not something that happens often with him, but it's pretty egregious.
Yeah, it is.
And I think they're now setting precedent another way.
Hey, is this star treatment?
Yes. I don't think there's any doubt. If this was even
anybody,
Stephon Castle.
Yeah, he's Castle, right.
I think that he's probably in there. And Wemby not out of there.
They had to win the basketball game.
You're not winning 3.
No, you're not. They had to win it last night. And when he went out, the pathway cleared a little bit. But look, give the Spurs credit. They fought tooth and nail in that game. They did. That was a good basketball game. Now, I don't think the T-Wolves are going to ultimately prevail in this series. The point spread was 9.5 prior to the announcement. Do you let me look and see if did it move at all, knowing that he is going to play, or was that already baked in?
So I saw it at 10.5 last night.
It's 10.5. Yeah, it's 10 at the Superbook. It's 10.5 everywhere.
So it was 10.5 the opening line last night.
So it was already baked in that he's probably not going to miss any time. Yeah,
because that thing dwindles to what, 7.5? If he's not in there.
Yeah, I would think.
Probably in that range. And I do wonder if there was a few people that were jumping on board maybe when you saw the 9.5 number, not knowing at that time if it was going to happen. Yeah, let's just grab this 10.5 just in case he's out of there and have that in your back pocket going into it. Still, with Wembanyama, they're a different team.
Oh, my God.
And them at home. But
the ability to go take the ball to the basket.
Yes.
I mean, he's not standing in your way.
The toughness, though, this T-Wolves team, they're just... They're junkyard dogs.
I like them.
This is a tough group. That physicality, and then the fourth quarter for me, when he put the team on his back.
Unbelievable.
Until the final minute again, they can't get the ball in.
I know.
And then they have to chuck it all the way to the other end of the floor.
Yeah.
The craziest part about that, I don't think, was the deflection off of Nasumu's leg and bounced right back up into him so he could catch the ball. How the Spurs allowed that pass to be there. What are you doing defensively?
Yeah.
I understand. You think they're going to try to throw it towards the half-court line. They have to get it over half-court because it was going to be an 8-second violation. Still, make that pass. That's a scary pass by McDaniel. That's
well marked.
You're going into the quarter there, and if that thing is turned over, they get it on the plus side of the court, and it was falling apart very quickly there. But even before that, Nasum was just getting absolutely mugged.
What did he finish?
Maybe I sound like a fan a little bit. Get him to the free throw line, though. And that's why he kept taking the inbound, is because he's their best free throw shooter.
Without a doubt. 3 for 3 yesterday. Didn't shoot enough of them, but he made everyone they shot.
That was kind of a crazy thing, too, is seeing they put up the numbers, the graphic, just how few free throws he takes. I think for a guy that handles the ball.
Because, he takes it to the basket.
He's not a spot up.
No.
He's not a guy. This isn't
he can, but
Devin Ballwinkle for the Hawkeyes that never had a 2-pointer for a full season. That's not what we're talking about here. This guy puts his head down and actually gets in there. That was the thing that was like 38 to 41 or something like that.
Big number, yeah.
I was like, that's it. That's all he's taken here recently.
But when he takes him, he makes it.
Yes, he does. And he got the right guy. They got the victory back to Game 5. team will still win it. I just don't have that
I
feeling.
I don't think it goes 7 games. I think they lose the next 2.
The next 2.
I do. They're a different team when Wembanyama is such a weapon.
Mhm.
Such a weapon. How about the Knicks, by the way?
Oh, boy.
Are they going to give whoever comes out of the West? And I still think it's OKC.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
do
yeah.
because of home grid.
It's all
It is. It is. Will they give? If it is Knicks Thunder, will there be any drama? Remember last year we got a 7-game series.
We did.
Forget that.
and I don't think anybody
No,
thought that was good.
no.
Outside of Halliburton fans or
Right.
Pacer fans,
Right.
there was a very small percentage of people that actually believed that was going to happen. The Knicks are just cruising. I mean, look
They
back at
are.
their 2 losses. They're 1-point affairs against the Hawks. That's it. They're bludgeoning teams.
So they beat Detroit or Cleveland.
I think so.
I do too.
I think Detroit maybe gives them more problems, and
Mhm.
Detroit obviously have home court advantage that go along with them, but they are just absolutely murdering people and the domination. We're waiting for that gentleman's affair in one of these 2 games in Philly.
No,
No shot.
no.
Just no shot at all. And what did they hit the first quarter? Were they 9 of 11 from 3 in the first quarter?
Oh,
of the
I
Knicks?
don't know. I don't remember.
It was something ridiculous like that. It's game over at that point.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you look up and all of a sudden it's a 20-point game after the first quarter. There's no slowing down for this Knicks team. I hope so.
So do you give the Lakers a chance tonight? Then back to that theory about winning one.
No, I think they're going to get clubbed. I think it's over. I think
Mhm.
they see the writing on the wall on top of it. This
The
thing's gonna
only
get ugly.
reason that, and let me pour that. hat.
Yeah.
Let me pour that.
Okay.
The only reason I think the Lakers will win, and I'm going on down the road here, is LeBron really going to play the final game of his career on Prime?
Mm.
Right? If this is truly
That's
it
how
for
it's
him,
going to end.
right?
Yeah.
You're going to end up on a streaming service, not on NBC or not on ESPN. You're going to go out on a .com. I don't know. That would be the only reason that I'd be at least tempted to take OKC tonight. Tempted to take OKC because I don't think LeBron's going to lose on Prime.
So you mean take the Lakers?
Take the Lakers tonight.
Lakers. Yeah.
Take the Lakers.
Because it's not going to end.
It's just not going to end.
I hope so. I like watching LeBron.
He's how old now?
41.
And his birthday, I think he's a Christmas baby. Or maybe I'm thinking of, I don't know who I'm thinking of.
Possibly.
But he'll be 42 obviously next year. That's what happens, 41, 42.
A good call. December 30th
Is
birthday.
he? That's what I thought he was. No, I take the Lakers.
Taking the Lakers.
And not the points. What's
the money line?
Money line price.
Oh, you're going to get a good
big one, right?
Yeah, I'll take a peek here.
All right, let's get Thunder Joe in here. All right, here's your hat back.
Thank you.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
Can you zip it, buddy?
Doesn't want to hear.
You're not buying this for a second, huh, Thunder Joe?
No, because the only way the Lakers will ever win a game in this series is they've got to figure out a way to not get their asses blown out in the third.
Mhm.
And they have no answer for guys like McCain, Caruso, and Wallace.
Yeah.
You can double Shea all the time you want, but it opens up them guys. And you talk about Chet Holmgren. Keep in mind, this Thunder team's doing this without Jalen Williams.
No, they're good. They're gifted. You know what? I love watching. I'm getting into SGA more now. I mean, the histrionics, the fouling, etc. He's such a good player. And I think his reputation maybe prevents people from kind of embracing the way he plays the game. He's so gifted.
And he will sign every autograph
I like
before
him.
he leaves.
Yeah.
Leaves the stadium because he would growing up in Canada, he would try to go to games in Toronto to watch Kobe, and he always made it a point to Shea's always made it a point to play every road game possible because he goes, there might be kids there to see me. He went to see Kobe play, and Kobe actually sat that game that he would see Kobe play, so he's vowed to never do it. But real quick, I want to weigh in on it, Wemby real fast. What Wemby did, now I'm not saying the T-Wolves will win, but I'm going to give you hope, Trent. Wemby put the Spurs in a must-win because you had the chance to go up at home 3-1. Now it's 2-2. T-Wolves are not playing with house money.
Yeah. Fair point, Joe. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Good luck to your team next game. I want to see the Lakers win a game.
Let's get the gentleman one. Yes.
I mean, give them one.
A gentleman sweep.
And what is the money line price? Did you find it?
I did. So you can get right now. You can get it on DraftKings a plus 390. You can get it at Caesars plus 430. You can get it at BetGM plus 450.
Keep going.
You can get it at circa plus 470.
Hmm.
Where are you shopping for your prices?
Trying to think of my Circa app.
Yes,
for that one.
absolutely.
Like, I don't know, but I'm just trying to.
You're willing this into existence.
Yes.
I did watch a little more hockey than I
Which
anticipated
game?
this weekend. Well, watched pretty much all of the Wild
Did
and the
you?
Lance.
Yeah.
Yep, on Saturday night. Got back from my brother's birthday party, and my parents are, you're watching hockey, huh? We're flipping back and forth between that and the Lakers, but yeah, the Wild looked like a different team.
They did. Yep, give them credit.
It was so surprising after seeing those first two games, and you mentioned the speed component.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of that's what I was watching for. Minnesota, it wasn't just that they looked to be the faster team.
Well, Quinn Hughes was unbelievable.
Colorado couldn't do anything.
No.
There were, from the second, third period on, how many real opportunities did they have?
Yeah. And when they were there, the wall of St. Paul.
How does that happen? Is it a confidence thing? You got to help me out here.
It must be. And he said so in his post game that that he knew he had to be better. His confidence was good. I'm paraphrasing, but and he needs it again tonight. Look, you've got to get out of town with this series 2-2 to have any chance. And I still think Colorado, I hate to admit it because I picked the Wild. I think Colorado's the better hockey team. Yeah. I do. I'll tell you one team that's really caught my attention in this playoff run, the Montreal Canadiens, man.
Yeah.
They are unbelievable. I'm so glad that some of the national media is starting. McAfee just did a big piece on it's an experience like none other. Seeing a hockey game up there, it's an absolute religion, and they do it so well, and they're so passionate. I don't have one ticket on them.
You don't.
I don't have a single nickel on them.
So that's a scary team for you.
Yeah, if they win, I'm out. If Anaheim wins, I'm out. Anyways, we'll see where it goes, but I still think it's the Avs. But a big spot tonight. Joe O'Donnell coming up at 12:45 to preview game number 4. Scott Dockerman coming up on the other side. We'll get inside his survey at the Athletic. We will do that. How about baseball from over the weekend? Speaking of the Athletic and baseball, did you see your Twins guy?
I did. Aaron Gleeman, who used to have on from time to time, and finally he told me he just doesn't like doing radio.
Is that what it is?
That. Yeah. He'll go into KFan and actually like do them in person, but it's just, he's a different guy.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed his writing. I listen to his podcast every week with him and The Geek, and Gleeman and The Geek is the name of it. So that's my
and it's all on the Twins?
Yes. Yeah. They just talk about the Twins, but he is a guy that just wants to write about the Twins.
Yeah. And the Athletic said, we don't need anybody anymore. Is that
well, they still have Dan Hayes. And instead of having two guys, they wanted him to become
the Wild have two guys.
Right. And wonder how much longer that's going to be.
Well, it is the state of hockey, not the state of baseball.
That's right. I do wonder with the Athletic, because Scott Dockerman, who's going to join us, went from the Hawkeye guy to Big Ten and NFL draft and everything else that he does. So there's a lot more. Is the Athletic? I don't want to say they're in trouble. I don't think that's
they're
fair.
bought by the New York Times, so I think they should be okay. I don't know that, though.
Right. Yeah. The finances, New York Times, and they might look at it as a lost leader. I don't know. But
I don't read the Times. I wish it would arrive at my door like every newspaper. I would read it, but it doesn't. None of them do. But now that isn't the sports section all the Athletic at the
I believe they still do have writers.
Do they?
Yes, that New York Times still has sports writers, I believe.
So they just use some of the features or something? Is that part of it?
Yes.
Because every time I log into the Athletic, I get a commercial for New York Times.
Right, yeah. Because that's who owns now the Athletic. But what made the Athletic great for me is I could find articles on the Bears, the Hawkeyes, and the Twins, and when that starts to dwindle
I'll go one further. How difficult is it to read about the Winnipeg Jets?
Right, yeah.
And I get that.
And you get that.
Right.
But what if that goes away? Yeah. And you start to go away from the team aspect that I think for a lot of us Athletic subscribers got us in there.
Right. In the first place.
That's
how they started.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the excitement behind it. And though I'm not a Cubs fan, I read a ton of Cubs articles and the different teams that we follow a little bit more, not a little more broadly than we do kind of the obviously
regional.
nuts, the nuts and bolts of Iowa and Iowa State stuff. You had that opportunity, and with that possibly going away, I don't know. It's just different than what I certainly was hoping the Athletic was going to continue to be.
All right. Speaking of the Athletic, Scott Dockerman joins us. He's next. It's 12:25. Before we go to break, it's 12:20. Doc will join us at 12:25. Our keywords continue on. You can head to KXNO.com, whatever website, whatever station you're listening to, head to your station's website. The keyword this hour is media, KXNO.com. Your chance to win $1,000. Media at KXNO.com. Your chance to win a grand. More keywords. One with Trent and I, one more every hour throughout the afternoon when the Off the Bench boys come in here at 2 o'clock. Miller and Condon, Doctorman next. Joe O'Donnell still to come this hour. It's the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Needs from dinnerware and utensils to full dining sets.
Wow, everything but the kitchen sink.
Actually, we have those too. Get everything your dream kitchen needs at a price you didn't dream possible. In-store or online at ikea.us/dreamkitchen. Dream the possibilities.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-200-1966, 800-200-1966, or biglou.com.
Get ready to unleash the power of a brand new Porsche. Community Choice is giving away a 2025 Porsche Macan. Go to unbankingporsche.com to enter to win by August 31st, 2026. It's sleek, it's speedy, and it could be yours. No purchase necessary. See website for official rules.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Ken and Trent are back in 60 seconds right here on 106.3 KXNO.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeartRadio drops anchor and goes commercial-free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s. Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio. You're listening to Miller and Condon.
Deep downfield, wide open.
On 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, 12:25, Miller and Condon. Welcome back, Iowa Sports Radio Network. Scott Dockerman momentarily. Joe O'Donnell, voice of the Minnesota Wild, in about 20 minutes. Let's get our buddy Scott Dockman in here from The Athletic. Want to recap the survey that Big Ten fans responded to. Little other news. But, Doc, just good to talk to you. Thank you, as always, for doing this for our audience. Next week, I know you're going to be out in L.A. Big Ten meetings will be going underway. Just kind of looking ahead, Doc, do you anticipate will there be anything, I don't want to say earth-shattering come of it, but what do you think might be one of the bigger stories, if any, to come out of these meetings next week?
I think when it comes to the Big Ten, it's going to be, what are they thinking about the expanded playoff, and not just Tony Petitti and the staff, but also the football coaches and ADs. What's kind of their charge? What are they pointing towards? I think that's we're a week away. The ACC meetings are going on now. Later in the month, you've got the Big 12 and the SEC, and so my guess is playoff is number one as far as the topic goes. But sometimes things like this, you go in with thinking one thing, and I'll never forget when I was into Kansas City in 2010 that. In the middle of the meetings was when the Pac-16 almost came about, and that changed the whole dynamic of late spring meetings. So I don't anticipate that happening this year, but I do think, you got to be guarded for something you don't really expect.
You have been busy at The Athletic curating and going through. How many responses did you get for your article asking fans of Big Ten schools a bunch of different questions? How many responses in this article you've been working through?
Oh, it was about 3,600, and they're from every school. And then there were some that weren't a fan of a school in the Big Ten that also had comments. So it was interesting. That was the main reason why I split it up into two stories. One kind of Big Ten fans, I suppose that that their thoughts on the league, and then two was their thoughts on their individual schools, and we had polls and also they shared their thoughts, and I thought it was one of the better responses I've received as far as these kind of polls, because I think everybody was pretty honest in the way they felt about not only the league, but their teams, and they're fairly self-aware, which you never get on social media.
Yeah, really. Isn't that the truth? A couple of things, Doc, that I was surprised at. The fact that the college football playoff, the number that the majority won by clear majority was 16. Coming in second was 12, but the 24 teams just did not move the needle. And then on the other one that kind of surprised me was the Big Ten championship game. It doesn't sound like that is something that the fans are really into. And I was surprised by both of those, Doc.
I was more so, the championship game. It's interesting with the Big Ten because of the major conferences. It's still the newest. It only came about in 2011, and all those years between East and West that just never really caught on because the West was always the junior partner, and there were some good games. We've seen some really good games over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. It was really, there was really discrepancy among the teams. So I think it didn't quite catch on as much, and so I was a little surprised that more than 80% seemed to be okay with eliminating the championship game. I mean, half of them were, in case if everybody else did, they'd be fine with it. And then 31% were just like, sure, get rid of it. And then, the playoff, and this to me is more of a kind of a problem that Tony Petitti has, which is conveying his voice and being able to speak out, because I think if he was to come out, and he's going to talk next week allegedly, so we'll keep our eyes on that. But for him to, if he was able to sell it publicly, I think people would embrace it more. But right now they're left with, that's too many. We went from 4 to 12. We're going to probably go to 16, but man, 24 just sounds like too many. If he was able to come out and explain what that meant, I think he'd be, there would be more people, not everybody, but more people would be okay with it. But until he does that and allows everybody else to kind of do it too, I think that's, right now, that's why you're seeing such a low percentage of people buying into the 2014 playoff.
one thing that jumped out and hearing and talking with you throughout the years is the question, how confident are you in Big Ten leadership, which I think was a little bit more positive than I thought it was going to be. I've been in lockstep with a lot of the things that you have said in the past, Doc, about Tony Petitti, not really at the forefront of things. He is not a PR guy. He's certainly not like Greg Sankey and the way that he is very visible with the SEC. Your thoughts on the response that you got and just your thoughts overall on Petitti and what he has done as the commissioner of the Big Ten.
Yeah, you're seeing kind of two things do not add up here. One is the fans seem to be behind the Big Ten leadership. And I think that's more to their schools or the league's overall success on the field or in the court or whatever, which is why that people on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, that, you had, almost 80%, had anywhere from a 3 to a 5. And I think, again, that most people like their athletic directors on campus. I think that was pretty evident. And I think they like the direction that the Big Ten is going in a competitive sense. However, when it came to Tony Petitti, I went through obviously every comment, and it took me a long time, but there were 69 comments that mentioned either Petitti or the commissioner. Only 2 were positive, and 5 were what I consider neutral. The rest were pretty negative, and they're universal from a lot of different spots. I mean, Michigan and Ohio State were the most pointed. Michigan State and Iowa were also there. And, there were some areas where he has to make up some ground. And of course, the playoff is one of them. He has to explain his position and do it in a better fashion than he has. The outside investment / private equity, people are just not comfortable with that. And he's got to make sure to, mention why this is important for the league. And then, you also, the other thing that really came about was the Michigan people hate him for how he, his suspension of Jim Harbaugh during the season when they won the national title, and everybody else hates him because of Michigan. So
he's doing something right.
Yeah. So everybody hates him because of Michigan, one way or the other.
That's wild.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. They make a good talk show host, because if one fan base hates you and the others feel the same way, you're doing the right thing. A couple of things that stuck out to me, Doc, when you mentioned that other article, more team-centric. There's a few teams where fans have absolutely no hope that their team is ever going to get through. The one team, though, that jumped out that seemingly, if this isn't a wake-up call for our friends in Madison, I don't know what is, because Wisconsin to me was always like, one of that very next tier, right? They might be a cut below, but this is a really good program. And, every now and then they're going to pop up, put a good team out on the field, and they can contend. Well, their fan base doesn't think so, Doc. And if you've lost the fan bases, 2 in the survey was, 5 was, it's going to happen. We're going to win a championship in 5 years. 1, obviously, no shot. But the Wisconsin fans who's generally piled on that we have no hope, that should be a wake-up call for the administration, in my opinion.
They've got some issues in Madison, and it starts at the very, very top because they need a president that oversees the entire system. They need a chancellor on campus. They need an athletic director. And you've got a coach that had the vote of confidence at the end of last year by the old athletic director, who the only reason why, if he was a different AD, he probably would have fired him. And so you've got all those issues that kind of compounded there at Madison. They've got a long way to go. And the way, and among the comments, and I only listed 3 per team, which really, meant there was a lot on the cutting room floor. They were all pretty universal that, and it wasn't just like straight up negative, like we suck, it was, very nuanced. And I think right now that they are, there were a few that still remain with Luke Fickell, but by and large, they can't believe how fast they've fallen. For when you think about 5 or 6 years ago, that this was still considered one of the better programs in the country, to now being, among the worst teams in the Big Ten and without much hope. That's quite a drop.
Yeah, quite damning.
Yes, absolutely. In a program we're just not used to. Well, unless you go back to the 80s, and they were awful back then before Barry Alvarez got there. One comment that you had there on the local front with Iowa, and Tim, I thought, said it well. For a lot of people, I hear this all the time. I'm sure you do as well, Doc. Ferentz is a blessing and a curse. You love the sustainability year after year. You know you're going to be competent, but looking for that next level. Now, we've heard about next levels going back to Steve Alford, and they went to the next level. It was just a level down from where they were previously.
He didn't mean it that way.
I don't think so at all. That was not what he was shooting for. That's not what Bowlesby was shooting for either. When you go through the Iowa responses, is that a sentiment that you heard a lot of? Happy about the consistency, but still wanting more?
Iowa had mostly happiness. I think more so than I can remember. And we know that we've seen this over and over and over again, that I think the majority, almost all of the fans, probably at least 75% of them, were happy with where Iowa is as a program, because since NIL has been infused into the program and into college football, it's navigated it very well. It's had some success. It's won in a minimum of 8 games every year, if not 9 or 10 since NIL took place in 2021. And, like the way Ferentz has been able to conduct business, I think there is that sentiment, though, that it is somewhat of a double-edged sword. But by and large, I think Iowa fans were, I would say, feel better about the program than they generally have. And that's saying something. Now, some people put them down for that, hey, you're satisfied with mediocrity or what have you. I wouldn't consider Iowa mediocre by any stretch. I mean, mediocre to me is in that, you never have more than 8 wins a year. And Iowa has gotten, a couple of division titles, and last year they were very, very close to being really good or to having a good record. They were a good team. So by and large, I think the Iowa fans were much happier than, say, Nebraska, Wisconsin. And again, most people were very self-aware in this poll, and the Iowa fans were right there, that they seem to be, pretty not complacent, but excited for what happens in Iowa City.
Scott Dockerman from The Athletic. Doc, great stuff. I'll get you out of here on this. I just saw the University of Iowa, the basketball Twitter account just made it official. Ben McCollum has been extended. No surprise. They've been working on it for a while. Just your thoughts, Doc, on McCollum and his meteoric rise as far as, coming from Drake and we're not sure it's Drake, how they're going to the popularity that he's attained. When I guess you take a team to the Elite Eight comes with it, right? But just Ben McCollum and how he's seen amongst Hawkeye fans. If he were to do that poll, I guess they're pretty positive, and they'd be pretty happy in that poll as well.
You should be. I mean, this is a program that had kind of languished even in the regular season for the last handful of years under Fran McCaffrey. I mean, they got to the tournament a few years ago, but they weren't going to do anything in it, and they didn't. And he was able to get Iowa winning games in March, which is really the only thing that matters when it comes to college basketball. And he did it, in a way that I think is probably better served for the University of Iowa. I mean, Fran's offenses were very interesting to watch. They were fun, but they were never going to win anything of note because they couldn't defend well enough. Well, that's the flip. And you've seen a good enough offense, and you've seen very, very good defense, and I think the more players he gets that fit his system, I think you see that. But I think it speaks to an investment that Iowa wants to make in its basketball program and sports in general, and it's going to, which is they've got a lot of riding on it. They don't want to lose him. They want to keep him. And to do that is to be at the forefront of it. He had a great season. You don't want another team to look at him. You don't want him to even kind of have a wandering eye. So they did that preemptively. And I think it was a smart move in this case. And, Ben McCollum, I dare say he knows the state much better than his predecessor did in all of his time there. Yeah. And I think there's some good days ahead for Iowa basketball. What that means, I don't know, but I think he's going to get Iowa in a lot of important games over his tenure.
Have fun in LA. I know you'll be working, but we'll continue to follow what you're doing out there and look forward to your recapping, etc., of the meetings next week in Los Angeles. Doc, thanks for jumping on. We sure appreciate it. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks if your schedule allows. Thank you, Scott Dockerman.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
Good to talk to you. Scott Dockerman from The Athletic. What do you anticipate? I think it's playoff. I think Doc's right.
Yeah, and figuring out what they want to do Petiti has been pretty steadfast in the automatic bids. Do the coaches want that? That's something that you're going to have to change. Are you going to have to change the way that the calendar looks and go back to what it was prior to 25 years ago? Rivalry week is the week before Thanksgiving. Then you have the weekend for your matchups. It was that way for a long time.
I know. Is that less football?
Nope.
Okay, that works then.
More better football.
Okay, yeah. I could see that because, the final week would be pretty fun. We'll talk hockey next on the other side. Well, it's usually pretty fun, but it might take up another notch.
Right.
Joe O'Donnell, voice of the Minnesota Wild, joins us next. Matt Snyder talks baseball to kick off hour number 2. Bill Seals on Iowa State. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
That was so good! Start your day off right with the first quarter with Heather Burnside and on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network. For 25 years, 106.3 KXNO has been the heartbeat of Iowa sports. From Friday Night Lights to championship dreams, we've been there for every play. Here's to the fans, the teams, and the passion that keeps us going. 106.3 KXNO, Des Moines sports station for 25 years and counting.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, media. That's media. Enter it now.
KXNO.com.
What if your lawn could mow itself? With Iowa Mobotics, it can. Get a smart robotic mower to use advanced technology to cut your grass autonomously, keeping your lawn perfectly trimmed while you save hours every week. Precision, consistency, zero hassle. Take back your weekends at iowamobotics.com.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Meet Ronnie. He's got his eyes on the future and wants to convert his old clunker to electric. It just needs a little elbow grease and a whole lot of watts. Don't get your wires crossed. Can you feel the electricity? Ronnie doesn't always make the best life decisions, but even Ronnie knows to never dig without contacting Iowa One Call first.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app, it's more powerful than it looks. One tap can get you in the conversation.
You guys, are you serious?
Enter to win something amazing.
That $1,000
or just a request. Try it now. Just open the free iHeart Radio app.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Dirty ducks and they clean just right. Hey, Brian Leach here with Service Legends, where we have a flair for clean air. Allow me to explain. Let's start with the here and now. Before your visit from my home comfort heroes. The before's a duct system full of some of the nastiest stuff that's ever been in your home. Years of pollen, pet dander, insect debris, and dust mite poop layered in your dirty ducts. And what comes after is a visit from the Home Comfort Heroes, who have a flair for clean air. My guys and gals will spend 4 hours with your dirty ducks utilizing Service Legends' proprietary 11-step torch removal process that I guarantee will pass the Marriott White Glove test. If you're inclined to experience the flair for clean air, my Home Comfort Heroes are standing by. Call today to breathe cleaner, fresher, healthier air tomorrow.
Call 515-COMFORT. We fix it right on the free. Service Legends.
Tim Miller, Trent Condon, Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Final segment of the first hour of our program. Matt Snyder, CBSSports.com, Major League Baseball writer, kicks off hour number 2. Bill Seals on Iowa State. North we go. Let's into the St. Paul, the Wild, and the Avs. 7 o'clock puck drop tonight. Joe O'Donnell, the radio voice of the Minnesota Wild. Jones. Joe, 2-1 series on. Certainly had a different feeling, I'm guessing, walking out of there. Fans maybe a little nervous going into the game, but they were in full throat very early, and off the Wild went to a convincing win. And it's 2-1 now in the series.
Much different feel today, Kenny. I can tell you that. Wild got their game. And they did so rather quickly in Game 3 on Saturday night, and it was much needed. I don't think they were pretty honest about not playing their style very much in Games 1 and 2 in Denver, and we saw the results. You let Colorado have open ice and try to trade scoring chances with them, it can be a long night. So the Wild defended well in Game 3. I thought they pressured all up and down the ice. I really thought everybody up and down the lineup had a good game. They got some strong goaltending, some timely goals on the power play. And, to your point, it was a rather complete win in the first loss for the Avalanche in the playoffs. Now it's 6-1. Won't be easy tonight, but that's sort of the blueprint for the Wild, and that's why they had such success in the opening round against the Dallas Stars with that same brand of hockey.
Wallstead obviously better, but it was the defense for me that definitely changed. And there just weren't a whole lot of opportunities, I thought, for Colorado overall. Still, when you go back to the goaltender after what happened in Game 1, the benching in Game 2, is it a mindset? Is it something they found maybe, I don't know, technically wise? I know nothing about this sports. You got to help me out here, Joe. How can Wallstead look like that in Game 1 and then this in Game 3?
Yeah, it's the guys in front of them. I think I saw that Colorado had 14 rush chances in Game 1 against the Wild alone. And that's like one of those, I think it was Sport Logic, one of the analytical sites. In the entire series against Dallas, the Wild allowed 25, right? So 6 games against the Stars, 25 rush chances against, where the team has possession over the blue line with numbers and, good speed. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how they, derive a rush chance. And there were 14 that they gave up in the first game against the Avalanche. You can't survive playing the Avs that way. Everybody knows it. It just took Minnesota a bit to get into this series and to get to that defensive game. We saw it in Game 3, and it just starts with their puck pressure up ice, Trent. Like, if the Wild are, in the forecheck, making the Avalanche defend, spending time in the offensive zone, then Colorado doesn't have the ability to exit cleanly, get speed, hit those check-up plays, those cut-ups, when they cross over the blue line and find the trailer, and then all of a sudden your defense is scrambling and there's rebounds, and that's the game Colorado wants to play. They didn't get to it in Game 3. Give the Wild credit. They were physical. They skated well. And Wallstead does what he does well, which is find shots through traffic and settle things down.
I want to bring up Vladimir Tarasenko because I'm not saying I thought he's clearly on the downside of his career, but he's certainly been much better in these playoffs. I think Tarasenko has been maybe one of the unheralded members of this, kind of unsung members of this playoff run for Minnesota. How about that?
Yeah, look, I knew he was going to score at least one big goal in this playoffs, no matter how long the Wild played, whether the first round or kept on going. That's just his MO. He's always done it. I think now he's at like 51 career Stanley Cup playoff goals. He's been there. He's done that. This is the 4th time he's playing against the Avalanche in a playoff series. It just kind of shows you how long he's been around, how many deep runs he's been a part of. He's not going to wow you with his speed at this point in his career. He's not going to be a play driver, as sort of that flashy term that a lot of folks use now about guys that kind of carry a line. But he's a shooter. He's good defensively. John Hines has always lauded that about the veteran Tarasenko this year, even when he wasn't scoring offensively. He's like, you don't have to worry about him from the defensive side. He's not cheating the game looking for offense. So brings a lot of experience. He brings a calming presence, I feel like, to that Wild locker room. And in clutch moments, he tends to deliver.
So we jump into the other side, speaking of goalies from Wallstead, and there was a change in game 3.
Yeah.
I think people will remember he gave up 6 in the first game. Do you think that there's going to be a change after pulling Wedgwood and they go the other route here for Colorado in game 4?
Yeah, I think Jared Bednar just chatted with the local media. The Wild had their morning skate at the practice rink at 10:30. The Avs went on at 11:30 at the game rink, Grand Casino Arena. So I was kind of checking what their scribes had to say on Twitter. And last time I saw, it looked like Blackwood was in what they call the starter's crease, like the net that typically the starting goalie would warm up in the morning skate. So if that's the case, then yes, it looks like Blackwood would be getting his first start of the playoffs. Look, the Avs use both guys throughout the year. They won the Jennings Trophy for the fewest goals allowed in the NHL, and that's an award split between whoever plays for you, which would be Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood for Colorado. So they're very comfortable with whoever they put in there. I found it interesting that after game 2, or game 3 rather, Jared Bednar said he thought Wedgwood really was competing in that, but maybe like a little bit too much. Like he was out of position at times. He was overcommitting. He was sort of swimming back there. He lost his goal stick on the 4-on-3 power play goal. It ended up in the corner. Again, Jared Bednar sort of alluding to, he thought maybe his goalie was maybe a little too ramped up. I'm paraphrasing, but like just a little out of position because of how aggressive he was and how much he was competing back there. So we'll see if Blackwood gives them a little bit of change of pace. The Wild did score 6 game 1 against Wedgwood. To your point, Trent, they got 3 past them the other night. So we'll see. I mean, Blackwood had a good year, so did Wedgwood. Again, that's why they gave up the fewest goals in the league.
Last thing, it seemed like Quinn Hughes had a little bit more ice to deal with on Saturday night.
Yeah. Look, when Kaprizov and Hughes are carrying the play for the Wild, they're as good a team as anyone in the league. Like when they work the way they did the other night collectively up and down the lineup with the power plays going, this is why this team had 104 regular season points. Hughes is so dynamic. He can back off the defense. When he's shooting the puck, I always feel he's a much bigger threat than when he's always trying to dish it. Like he can get shots through. And I'd love to see him shoot the puck more here tonight in game 4. But if Boldy and Kaprizov and Hughes and Faber are on their game, it's going to be a star-driven series. And the Wild like their depth, bottom 6, Trent and Kenny, just to win those battles too. So if their stars are going and cancel out the Avs stars, then you get your bottom 6 going as well. I just think Minnesota really likes their chances. This can be a tough one. They've gotten the Avalanche collective attention. I can guarantee you that. This one tonight should be fun.
No question about it. Joe O'Donnell, voice of the Minnesota Wild, joining us, radio duties tonight. Joe O'Donnell, thanks, man. Appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you as this thing goes on. Appreciate it, Joe. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Yep, good to talk to you. Joe O'Donnell, the radio voice of the Minnesota Wild. Game 4 tonight. Should be a good one. Hopefully it is. 2-2 going back to Denver for game 5. I'm in.
Can we get some good ones? I mean, Anaheim, Vegas has been close.
It has, yeah.
Carolina's already moved on.
They're ticket punched.
I was shocked by this. I saw this little nugget today. You know the last time a team in the NHL playoffs has won their first 8 games?
Well, Carolina just did, but prior to that, I have no idea.
You have to go back to 1985.
Really?
The 85 Oilers. In fact, there are only 5 teams, including this year's Carolina team, that have ever won their first 8 games of the playoffs. The 85 Oilers, the 69 Blues, the 60 Canadiens, and the 52 Red Wings.
69 Blues and then got swept in the Stanley Cup final by the Boston Bruins, and Bobby Orr flew through the air.
Oh, that one.
Indeed, in St. Louis. Seen that picture, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hour 2 coming up next. Matt Snyder, CBSSports.com, covers MLB. That's where we'll start. Bill Seals on Iowa State. Miller and Condon on Des Moines Sports Station, 106.3 KXNO.
Quick question. Want to go to Vegas with KXNO? We're giving away the Circa Silver Anniversary Experience. Flights, Circa Hotel, food money, stadium swim, sportsbook VIP access, and nights out with the KXNO crew. All for one lucky winner and a guest. And 5 more winners still get the Vegas hookup. You've got until June 28th to enter. Don't hear about it later. Be there. Only from KXNO and Circa.
Sign up now at KXNO.com.
I love cottage cheese. It's a great source of protein and goes with so many meals. And AE Dairy makes the absolute best. They've been making cottage cheese since the 1930s with so many flavors too, including AE Dairy's latest Parmesan garlic cottage cheese. Creamy AE Dairy cottage cheese meets bold Parmesan and garlic for a savory twist you didn't know you needed. AE Dairy Parmesan garlic cottage cheese is now in stores. Get product info and great recipes at aedairy.com.
As your dealer for life, the Carl Auto Group has been taking care of small companies and fleet owners the same way for over 45 years, with a handshake and a promise. Our Business Elite professionals are here for you as we begin 2026. See how we can help upgrade your
for life. It's the car away.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-200-1966, 800-200-1966, or biglou.com.
At Kia of Des Moines, it's been 1 year since the unveiling of our new state-of-the-art showroom. So we're celebrating all month long. It's our anniversary sale, and you get the gift. Shop and save on all of your favorite new Kias with financing as low as 0.9% for 60 months. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Kia of Des Moines. Shop KiaDM.com. With approved credit for well-qualified buyers. Valid on new 2026 Kia Sportage models. $1,705 per $1,000 finance monthly. Must finance through KMF. Expires 6/1/26.
In Des Moines, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with over 5,000 Chase branches nationwide, we're right beside you, Des Moines. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. KXNO 106.3 FM and 1460 AM Des Moines. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports LLC.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When someone has lottery luck, that means someone else usually pays for it with misfortune. This year, that reality hit home in Indiana. After Tyrese Halliburton went down during last year's NBA Finals, the Pacers quickly unraveled into one of the league's worst teams. With a highly regarded draft class looming, there was at least a silver lining, or at least the possibility of landing a transformational young talent. Instead, Indiana's left with regret after making a deal for their pick mid-season. The Pacers had previously dealt for Ivica Zubac in a move that included a top 4 protected first-round pick. Indiana fell to 5th, handing the Clippers a premium lottery asset while walking away from a miserable season with nothing to show. Adding a young star to Halliburton's core could have positioned Indiana for another long run. Instead, the Pacers now feel like just another team. Bad luck hurts. Watching a costly gamble backfire because of your own decisions hurts even more. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. A personal question. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry, single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It's a whole lot better thanks to the wet, extra-large cleaning power of Dude Wipes. They comfortably clean up whatever toilet paper leaves behind. You can make the trade of the season, switch from toilet paper, and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Available at Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary and 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
106.3 KXNO. Ken Miller, Trent Condon. This is Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, hour number 2, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Trent and I have another, well, not quite an hour. We'll take you until just before 2. Off the bench at that time. We do have a keyword coming up, another opportunity to win $1,000. Then in about 20 minutes, Bill Seals on Iowa State at the bottom of the hour. The music means it's time to talk some baseball. Unjuiced.net. .bet, I beg your pardon. Unjuiced.bet is the sponsor of our weekly guest, our weekly conversation with Matt Snyder from CBSSports.com. I wondered how you were going to handle the power rankings. By the way, you've had a very busy Monday, Matt Snyder.
Yeah.
Not finding enough hours in my day to keep up on everything you're writing. That's a good thing. But the Braves right on top of your power rankings again, had another important weekend, and it went their ways. They take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. That was a series I think a lot of baseball fans were wondering how it would go. Good to talk to you, Matt Snyder. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Yeah, I also mowed the lawn too, so
wow.
I'm just packing it in today.
Atta boy, getting all that stuff done. The Braves, big series win. Strider looked really good over the Dodgers this weekend. Look, the Dodgers are going to be there at the end, one would assume, right? But the Braves are playing very good baseball as we speak.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing from the weekend was the Spencer Strider start and how, came back from injury last year, had the surgery in 2024, came back last year, 4.45 ERA, just never really looked right, didn't look like himself, was on the IL, took a while to get back. Like, okay, what's going to happen with this guy? First start in Colorado, not very good, but it's in Colorado, but he's still 5 walks. And then he comes out in Dodger Stadium and throws 6 scoreless innings with only 1 hit allowed and strikes out 8. Now, okay, well, that's Spencer Strider now. So they had concerns in the rotation just from the injuries, such as Schwellenbach, who still is out for a while. Chris Sale, he's probably going to be good all year, but you don't know about Bryce Elder. You don't know about Martin Perez, how they're going to hold up. getting Strider to look like the old Strider, that had to be big time optimism resonating throughout the organization there. I mean, we know the offense is going to continue to be good, especially when Acuna comes back. We know the bullpen's going to be amazing all year with Iglesias and Suarez and Kinley and Lee, but to see Strider throw like that, I thought that was a big deal.
No question. Just real quick before have you seen Mike Trout rumored to the Braves? I'm starting to see more and more of that. I don't know if it's just one site and now
Not
everybody's
really.
picking up on it.
No.
Okay.
Not really.
So nothing to that. Because, I mean,
That would be
what an addition
interesting.
that would be, right? I mean, I think Major League Baseball wants him in the playoffs. Obviously, the Braves have a major chance. Boy, with the Braves, that might be enough to put him over the top.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It feels like he'd have to go to left field to replace Mike Yastrzemski there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously he has his 10-5 rights at this point. I don't know that he would definitely waive them to go anywhere, but with the Braves being a fine organization that are contending very, very often, that might just do it.
You know what? I'm going to jump in here, Trent, because I want to come back to the Braves. Bobby Cox passed away this weekend. Some of the stories that have come out from his former players. I don't know if you ever had an opportunity to interview him. I remember as the Blue Jays skipper.
No, I didn't. No.
When they started to get good in the 80s, when they were, they sucked, and then all of a sudden they were good.
Yeah.
But Bobby Cox, what a phenomenal baseball life, what a phenomenal baseball man. Just your thoughts on what he leaves behind and what he meant to MLB.
Yeah, 4th all-time in wins, 5 pennants, World Series, 4 Manager of the Year awards. That's a lot of, decoration right there on the resume, as it is 4th all-time in postseason wins as well. One of the things I think that sticks out to me the most is having the career record in ejections, which I don't think will ever be touched, because I don't think that guys are going to be at the helm long enough. But I also, with how many things you can challenge nowadays, there's hardly the opportunity to go argue and get thrown out anymore.
Good point.
So now, and the reason I bring it up is there are myriad reasons. It's not just because it sounds really funny that he got kicked out so often. There are different components to that. First off is the longevity. In order to have that job for long enough to set the record for ejections, you have to be good enough to keep your job. So that's part of that's a testament to how good the Braves were for so long, winning 14 straight division titles. Another part of that is they were very good during that run at developing young talent. We saw guys like Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones and even Jason Hayward toward the end of his run come up underneath Bobby Cox, learn on the fly. We also saw him deal with, the development of, let's say, John Smoltz, Tom Clavin, Steve Avery came up. They brought Greg Maddux over. Obviously that helped. But Denny Nagel, for example, really coming into his own there. Kevin Millwood really coming into his own there with that staff. So getting your players backs is part of what can get managers ejected, whether it's standing up for them on a close call and whether you think they're right or not, whether it's just keeping them in the game because you think it's a terrible call and you think the player's going to get kicked out. So you get in between them and make sure that you get kicked out and not the player. There are just so many different components to all those ejections that I think a lot of people might not think about.
Tariq Skugel could recover from orthopedic elbow surgery quicker than the usual timeline, according to his agent, Scott Boras. Not only that, Boras takes it a step further in the procedure that was used. He's calling it a Skubal scope. I mean, is he looking for a side deal here? Because it looks like Skubal's not going to get the money maybe he thought in the open market.
Yeah. So, okay. Again, several different components to this. First off, the initial reaction when you say Scott Boras says this about his client, the initial reaction is to kind of roll your eyes and say, yeah, whatever. But the more I thought about it, it was like, well, this is in season. He's obviously not getting an extension. He's going to free agency. He's not a free agent right now. So it's not like he's trying to get him a job right now. So why would he have to over exaggerate? It leads me to believe, and in fact, if you take that another step further, if he says this and then Skubal's out for the rest of the season, then he looks really, really bad. So I don't think, unless it was true, he would take that chance. Now, of course, then he has to take it a step further and go with the Skubal scope and all that crap. That's like winter meetings, Scott Boras right there for you.
With the binder.
It led me to believe that there were at least elements of truth, because I was like, man, if he doesn't come back now, Forrest has egg on his face, and he doesn't want to do that in front of free agency. So it led me to believe that there might have been like one small bone chip, and it was really easy to go in and take it out, and then he'll be able to start throwing quickly, which a lot of the recovery timeline usually is how much longer it takes to build yourself back up, right? If you know, for example, in spring training, the pitchers get 2 months to build themselves up. Well, it's a month and a half at least, month and 3 weeks to build themselves up and get ready for the regular season until you're ready to go. So if you get shut down for a month, you're basically starting over. Then you need another 6 weeks to build your arm up to get back. So I think part of the argument is he's only going to be shut down from throwing for like a week or two, and then it's not going to take him near as long to build back up. So we'll see. But my hunch is that's what it was more like. He's not going to have near as much recovery time because he's not going to be shut down for as long.
Interesting. I think you're spot on. I never thought of it that way. I'm glad you brought that up because if it does backfire, that's obviously going to hurt him once he gets to the mark. It'll be awful. No doubt about it. So what about his Tigers? I mean, that division, the Twins are in last place, 2.5 games out of the lead, I mean, which just tells you all you need to know about the division overall. But if the Tigers do languish, is Skubal made available, do you think, once we get to the trade deadline?
Okay, it would have to be really, really far back. Because I don't think they would do that if they thought they had any shot at making the postseason, especially when we saw the Guardians last year come back from 15.
And the Tigers the year before.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'd have to be at least double digits out of a playoff spot. But if they did get far enough back, yes, absolutely. I think that they would get in front of it because they signed Framber Valdez last offseason. I think that was kind of like, hey, we're going to go for it this season. But if we don't do anything, at least we've got Valdez plus some savings and money for other people, and then Skubal's going to walk. So, I think he's gone from Detroit after the season regardless. So if they're in a spot where they think we're definitely out of it, yes, absolutely, they would trade him. Man, they'd have to work awfully hard to get so far out in that division right now. They almost went from first to worst in like 3 days.
That's the division.
Was amazing.
That's why.
Yeah. Different than the National League. Speaking of the American League as a whole, there are only 3 teams in the whole league above 500 at this point in time.
Yeah.
Just absolutely unthinkable. It feels like a mathematical impossibility that you have 15 teams and only 3 of them above 500, yet here we are. Are there teams that you feel confident are going to turn it around? Who do you like outside of the Rays, the Yankees, and I guess the A's because of the division? Who do you like in the American League?
It's hard to be confident right now because we've seen about a fourth of the season. That's a decent sample. Mariners, I'll go right to. They're better than this. They were under 500 into June last year, and then they ended up in the ALCS. I don't think anybody else in the AL West is that good.
Not the Rangers?
Like the A's maybe. I still just don't like their offense that much, and the rotation isn't as deep as it should be. Or as good as it should be if you want to get by with so little offense. But then again, like Corey Seager should be way better offensively. When Wyatt Langford comes back, maybe he gets things going. You expect Mackenzie Gore to be better than this, 5.18 ERA. You expect Nathan Eovaldi to be better than this, maybe. But definitely confident in the Mariners out there. The Astros, done with them. Obviously, the Angels are not good. Central, hard to be confident in anybody, but it seems like the Royals kind of have a good thing going right now after that horrible start. Maybe the Royals will get things going. Tigers, I'm waning, especially with Skubal out for at least another few weeks. Waning a little bit there. And the East, I still think there's something more in the Blue Jays. 8.5 outs is a tall order right now. 7.5 behind the Yankees is a tall order, but to at least get into wild card contention with a winning record, I do think they have enough to do that. And again, 4 games under. They were 2 games under in late May last year. So I know it is a tall order, as I said, not only to run down the division title, but to expect them to get as hot as last year just because it happened last year.
Yeah.
But you at least have the mentality in the clubhouse, which is, hey, man, we already did this. Then you know you're not going to be lacking confidence in the clubhouse.
Yeah, if their leader could hit the baseball further than the warning track, for crying out loud.
That's what I think. I don't know if you saw my power rankings comment.
I did, yes.
When Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to be slugging under 400 and to only have 2 home runs. I know he's hitting 308. I know he's getting on base, but man, that's the guy that you will need to hit the ball out of the ballpark. 2 is just not cutting it.
No doubt. I want to go to the National League. I do want to get to the play at the plate the other yesterday, where replay totally got it wrong. But I want to start with the Brewers, who I'm starting to think that they're starting to look like themselves again. The guys are coming back into this lineup. It looks as though the Brewers, probably too late to get them now to win the Central Division. I don't know what they were. I don't think they ever dropped off the face of the earth. Did they, Trent? I don't think they did.
Nope.
But it seems like the Brewers are about to make a run. And the Cubs, I think, it's going to be like we thought it was going to be. It's either the Brewers or the Cubs. Here comes Milwaukee, Matt Snyder.
I bet you could still get pretty decent odds because there's always a tax for the mega market teams, and the Cubs had a decent-sized lead and just won so many games. I bet the Cubs are still favored there, and the Brewers are decent money, but not as much as it would have been, a week ago, like you said. Especially with them sweeping the Yankees, that'll make people perk up. Get Jackson Chourio back, and he's been amazing, and that's somebody who could make a difference in a big, big way. He could play like an MVP caliber guy, having missed as much time as he is in the same league as some major big guns. I'm not saying he's going to win it this year, but I'm saying he could play like that type of guy. That's a needle mover there. And then you get Andrew Vaughn, and he hits a home run. You get another extra oomph of power in the middle there. When you've got Chourio and Terang toward the top of the order, you can put Vaughn in the middle there. That really lengthens their lineup. Vaughn in the middle with William Contreras, obviously. And in the rotation, I know Woodruff had that dead arm where he was only throwing like mid-80s. He's on the IL. But Mizorowski looks like a legit ace. I mean, 70 strikeouts in 44 innings.
Unreal.
It's ridiculous. And Kyle Harrison, Chad Patrick, Logan Henderson, they've got good rotation depth right now, even with Woodruff being hurt. So, they're legit. Something came out, contenders versus pretenders, and I said that Brewers are a strong contender.
Play at home plate aside, in the Cubs game yesterday, as Ken brought up to me, DeGrom reaches 1,900 strikeouts. Like, okay, that's nice. And then you see it's the least amount of innings and the least amount of games started to hit that mark. He's still searching for his 100th career victory, yet if he can have a healthy couple more seasons in today's environment of baseball, Mr. Hall of Fame voter, is Jacob deGrom a Hall of Famer?
99 career wins is not even remotely on my radar. I don't think that matters as much. Like, if somebody, I don't think we're going to see anybody for a long time get there, but just for the sake of argument, if somebody got to 300 wins, I don't think I would look at any other stat, and I would just say, I'll give you the respect to stick around long enough to get to 300 wins, because you can't get there without being good. But not having enough doesn't move the needle for me, especially when he only has 67 losses. So if you're just looking at on a percentage basis, it's very obvious this guy's gotten screwed out of so many wins over the years, whether it's by a lack of offense or his bullpen. The workload, I think, is more of an issue because you're not even to 1,600 innings right now. It'll be interesting to see on a rate basis. There's no reason to even talk about it, right? Like 2.57 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, the strikeout rate, hardly ever walking anybody. All of his percentages are absolutely Hall of Fame level percentages. It's just, are you going to have the workload? Because even in this day and age of high strikeouts, he's not even at 2,000 strikeouts yet. He'll get there. I think he needs to get over 2,000 innings, which he's at 1,584 and a third right now. Get over 2,000 innings. And then we're probably getting over 2,500 strikeouts. And then given the rate stats, I think we're in good range there, and he would probably make it. It's going to be close because he's still so good, but he's 38, and there's so much mileage on that arm given the surgeries.
Like you say, he better stay healthy for the next couple of years. I think he's a Hall of Fame. Boy, sure looked like one yesterday, but he
really feels like one.
He does.
He's one of those guys that when you say the feel factor, like when you're watching somebody, it's what people said, like anti-Scott Rowland, for example. When you watch Scott Rowland, did you feel like you were watching a Hall of Famer? When you watch Jacob deGrom, you always feel like you're watching a Hall of Famer.
He got no run support for the most part, other than that 2-run bomb in the 9th inning. He got one. The play at the plate, Matt. I mean, if you're going to have replay, it's there to get the call right, and that was pretty. He was out. There's no way around it.
It looked pretty easy to me. I know it was close, but just because it's close doesn't mean you have to uphold it. Just because it's close doesn't mean you can't change it. Like, it can be, oh man, it was so close, but he's out. Okay, then he's out.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
We, if you have any thoughts of a Philadelphia push come postseason, is it time to maybe buy a ticket now? They're 10-3 under Mattingly. Saw Schwarber had another big day. Is the time now to jump aboard with Philadelphia? Because they definitely have the pieces and feels like.
Well, it apparently was right when they fired Tom.
Yes, yeah.
Mattingly was the time.
Yeah.
The upcoming schedule was really soft. They just got done playing only the Braves and Cubs for 2 straight weeks when they were at their worst. And so it's kind of natural that they would get hot. Part of the key there is I think we talked earlier in the season, the roster just seems so thin.
Yeah.
Well, now you've got Brandon Marsh going absolutely bonkers offensively, hitting .353. That lengthens the lineup in a big, big way behind Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Kyle Schwarber, who you know are going to be as good as anybody in the top 3. If you can get, Justin Crawford having a pretty good year toward the bottom of the lineup, probably need more from Bryson Stott and Alec Boehm, but Brandon Marsh coming on strong and getting that hot is a good sign. Getting Zach Wheeler back and having him look at least close to old Zach Wheeler is also a big way to lengthen that rotation there. Christopher Sanchez with that now 20 innings straight scoreless streak. Looks like, again, you've got the pair of aces in Wheeler and Sanchez. Luzardo is so inconsistent, but when he's on, he's really good. Probably need to see a rebound from Nola there, but they've got Duran back at the end of the bullpen. They've had a lot of good signs.
We'll see where it goes. A fascinating week. What's the best series coming up this week?
I was asked to rank them actually, and preliminarily looking at it, like Phillies Pirates is a really, really good one for the weekend.
Yeah. Braves Cubs is pretty good.
Yeah. I was actually going to say, I was just looking at the weekend, but if we went in the middle of the week, holy cow. I mean, that's top 2 in my power ranking. So of course I think that was amazing, Braves Cubs, but I actually was thinking, Cubs White Sox over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's at White Sox. The White Sox are right in the mix. You never know. They could be in first place come the weekend because they're only 1 game out right now. The White Sox fans always have kind of little brother syndrome about the Cubs. So they're going to show up like it's their World Series, and they hate the Cubs so much. Cubs are good. If the White Sox feel like they're good, that could be a really, really raucous environment there on the south side this coming weekend.
Murakami, what a story he is, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
Really is.
Great.
Good stuff, Matt Snyder. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it, and we will talk with you next week. Thank you, Matt.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Matt Snyder, CBSSports.com, as we talk a little MLB. Unjuiced.bet, unjuiced.bet. Sponsor our weekly conversation with Matt Snyder. Unjuiced.bet for Matt Snyder.
And the top prop out there right now on Unjuiced.bet in terms of...
Do they list it by sporters? That's the top in all sports
This
today.
is the top baseball one I see right now. Joey Cantino, under 5.5 strikeouts. For MLB. That is the top one there. And those prop bets that you've been hearing and the ones that I've been hitting, all brought to you by Unjuiced.bet. And right now you can use the promo code KXNO and you will be able to get, at this point, 30% off your first month. Plus, everybody, sign up right now. How about 7 days free? See if it's something that you would like to jump in. Use that promo code KXNO, 7 days free and 30% off your first month with the promo code KXNO.
Unjuiced.bet sponsors Matt Snyder. All right, Bill Seals coming up next. Iowa State conversation. Seems like the Clones are down to 1 of 4 teams for a 6'3" quarterback in an upcoming class. We'll talk to Bill about that and other Cyclone-related topics when we come back on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get off the bench and into the game with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain. Tune in weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
This June, the Legends of Golf return to Des Moines. The 2026 Principal Charity Classic at Wakanda Club, June 10th through 14th, where legends of the game compete and every swing helps support Iowa youth. Bring the whole family. Tickets start at just $25 and kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now at principalcharityclassic.com. The Principal Charity Classic, because out here, it's more than golf.
You've heard me rave about Kitchen Refresh. They updated our kitchen in just a few days for a fraction of the cost of the custom cabinets that I was pricing out with no demo. That's why Kitchen Refresh has installed over 500 kitchens. You can still use your space while they work. You don't even have to empty cabinets. Your kitchen, bath, bar, or laundry room will get a completely new look with lightning fast speed without sacrificing quality. Iowa.com for your free in-home consultation. Tell them Heather said they could help.
Voters are listening to the radio. Tons of them. If you're running for office, radio is where people are actually tuned in. Not looking past ads. Connect with communities everywhere and get on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Spring savings are here at Priority One Heating and Cooling. Get up to $1,800 back on a new Linux system or enjoy no payments, no interest for 12 months. You're in charge of how you save big this spring at callpriority1.com.
Happy birthday to
What gets you out of bed in the morning? Has you staying up late? What are you excited about? What drives you? It can all be gone in an instant. So buckle up, slow down, drive sober, pay attention. Don't lose what drives you. Brought to you by the Iowa Department of Transportation.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort. Score unbeatable deals on both. They make sleep easy.
Hello, I'm Robert Smigel. I did lots of things. Cartoons on SNL, Conan stuff, Triumph the Insult comic dogs, some movies. But now I'm past my peak. So I'm hosting a podcast, Humor Me with Robert Smigel and Friends. Each week, me and my favorite comedians, writers, and whatnots help regular people just like you, presuming you're regular, who have some project or task that they'd like us to help make funnier.
Search Humor Me on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
More with Miller and Condon in 60 seconds, right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent and Ken with you till 2 o'clock, just before. Off the bench coming up at that time. Forgot to give you the keyword before we went to break. So let's do it right now. You can head to your station's website, whichever one you're listening to. How about Des Moines Sports Station? KXNO.com, KXNO.com. The keyword is coin. Coin, the keyword. Type it into the pop-up box that will appear. Your chance to win $1,000 in this nationwide contest. The keyword this hour is coin. Let's talk some Iowa State. Bill Seals joins us, CycloneReport.com. Bill, Trent, and Ken, thank you for coming on. I guess I want to start with the quarterback who, by the name of Brody Campbell, who is he had 30 Division I offers and has narrowed that list apparently to 4 schools: Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Maryland being the others, and Iowa State. Have you got your crystal ball out? Is that what you do over at Rival/On3? Your thoughts on Brody Campbell? What's a likelihood that he ends up a Cyclone?
Well, I think the odds are pretty good, guys. I mean, it sounds like Iowa State's really making him a priority now. He tweeted out a graphic a few hours ago that was sent to him by the Iowa State staff. He's kind of 1A now. I think they've cast aside DJ Hunter, not recruiting him as much or if at all like they were when they had him in during the spring. Gary Chapman was another one they had offered. Were in school, I believe, with him during this recent period. He's committed elsewhere. So I think it's Brody Campbell right now that's the priority. Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Maryland, the other of the finalists. Iowa State will get its shot with him on an official visit in June. They'll have him in, I believe, the 12th through the 14th is the weekend on that. So, and they got to get a quarterback here in this class, guys. It's probably the most important. Well, it's always one of the most important positions on the field, and in this class right now, it's probably the most important. I felt that they've done a great job addressing the offensive line. They've gotten a couple other positions, commitments there, a couple on defense here recently, but quarterback, I think, and Brody Campbell, that's probably the priority right now for this staff, is to try to get him in the fold.
I want to ask you about a couple of local guys, state of Iowa guys. Joe Vineyard, who I saw plenty at Waukee Northwest, catching the ball from Matt Heitland and making plays at the tight end position, made his commitment. And then Will Slagle. And after Matt Campbell departed, a lot of concerns, a lot of questions. Was he going to go over the east side of the state, maybe go a lot further east and go out to State College? Recommitting to this staff feels like 2 pretty important gets for the new coaching staff.
Yeah, I think so. Will Slagle was an early priority for Matt Campbell and his staff, and had committed really early, and then opened things up for a little bit when the coaching changed. And I think Jimmy Rogers, Jake Thornton, the offensive line coach, came in, made a very quick impression on him. And I think all along, Will was probably looking to stay close to home, close to Grinnell. His dad and his uncle played for Iowa State in the 90s. He's a legacy type of guy, and Iowa State got him in. And I think he's going to having that commitment is going to pay dividends, I think, down the line for this class as well. When you've got a guy who's pushing 4-star consideration, I think if he plays his entire junior season and wasn't out with the foot injury, he's a 4-star right now. I think maybe slipped a little bit just with not a whole lot of junior film, but I think he reemerges as a 4-star caliber guy this year. So having him in the fold is huge. And then Vineyard, Waukee, how about that? Tight end, what do you want to call it? Tight end town or whatever, with Evan Jacobson going to A&M at Waukee. And now the Northwest kid, Joe Vineyard's a Cyclone. So Isaiah Hansen, he's another one in state from Newton High School. He was the first commitment in this class. So I think, all things considered, this staff is getting acclimated pretty well in state and getting some of these guys early.
Iowa State has a general manager. I hope I'm saying his name right. Ricky Ciccone. Is that, how do you say his name?
Well, I'm calling him Ricky Ciccone. I might be wrong.
Okay, I think you're right.
Maybe John Walters needs to correct me or something, however he would introduce those guys. But, yeah, he's the GM. He pretty much took over the role that Derek Hoosier had. That's kind of that GM role, the director of player personnel, whatever you want to call it, has kind of become the thing in the current era of college football with, handling the NIL, rev share, all that kind of the behind the scenes type of stuff.
Yeah, and that's so it's not new. That's just a new name then for Iowa State. I guess what's his primary duty? Is he allowed to actually go on the road as a general manager? Do you know some of the rules that they are limited to, or is it basically he can go out and do what he has to do as a representative of Iowa State? What are the rules there?
Well, they it seems like they're ever changing. I'm not aware of him going out on the road during this. This recent evaluation period, it was kind of screwy timing on it, really, because Iowa State was still in spring ball. The evaluation period opened, for coaches to go out and see kids, and Iowa State's not going to miss time to be on the road when they're in spring ball.
Right.
So what they ended up doing was sending out some of the recruiting staff out. I'm not sure that Chacon was out, but I do know some of the other recruiting guys on the staff were out. Some of the names kind of escaping me right now, but some of the guys under Chacon. Here we go. Alex Self. He's one of them I'm really thinking of here. He hit St. Louis pretty hard. I believe from that area. Andy Lucas was another one that has been pretty involved, but I think Alex Self was probably the primary one that was out on the road. I don't think he was doing a lot of communicating with the kids. He was doing a lot of filming and talking to coaches. And then I think it was going back to their lead recruiter would follow up with a phone call or whatnot. But this recruiting staff's been very active, and it's all kind of being spearheaded by Ricky Chacon now.
So General Manager Trent, the first one, did you remember one before Belichick hired Michael Lombardi to be the general manager at North Carolina? I'd never heard referred to that. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it'd been something that has been out there. In basketball, I think there was more of that.
Was there?
That was having a dedicated position to do it, and there are certain programs that don't do that, but it's been out there. I think it's because we also do the name, and he used to be a GM in the NFL.
Probably.
That kind of helped connect the dots, but this is our new reality. Bill, I mean, as you see across the industry, this has got to be something that everybody's going to be doing, right? Some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Salary cap is one thing, but just trying to find the guys and having that dedicated position feels like a new position that has been created in college football.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Trent. I think Tyler Barnes is in that role for Iowa too, correct? The GM. And, I think he's the chief of staff too. And Iowa State's got a separate guy that's the chief of staff. So Chacon's main role is general manager. And, just handling everything, I think, from a personnel standpoint, numbers, NIL, rev share, recruiting, who they're bringing in. He was a pivotal figure, I think, when the staff got to Ames and they had to go to the transfer portal pretty quickly. And you noticed that Chacon was one of the first to join Rogers in Ames, and I think that was by design because he was heading up all of those efforts to, flip this roster around. I think 81 new players they're going to have. Not all of those are transfers, but that includes the high school additions and stuff. But he had a pretty pivotal role, especially earlier on, and he's still a busy guy.
Just getting ahead of this, switching to basketball. If Momcilovic decides that the NBA is just, it's not that dream's not going to happen this year. I don't know either way if it will or if it won't. But I'm starting to see Kentucky. I'm seeing some Louisville for Momcilovic. Is the door totally closed? I know that. Obviously TJ thought that the likelihood of him coming back to Ames was slim to maybe none because he went out very quickly and he filled that roster and he spent, I'm guessing, a lot of money to do so. We'll never know exactly how much, but Momcilovic is at least listening to some pretty big names when it comes to the option for him to play his final year. What are you hearing, if anything, Bill?
Yeah, I think that it's probably pretty well closed. I wouldn't say it's ever completely closed. You never say never. Iowa State does have one more scholarship it can give, and I don't see him probably using it. And there's probably a number too in mind. If Milan were to ever come back, what's the number? I'm not sure what exactly that number is. They've probably got a little bit left in their rev share pot, I would think, with all the guys coming off the books this year around him with Taman and Joshua. But yeah, I mean, when you're listening to Kentucky, at this point in the process, Iowa State's added 5 transfers already. I would assume that Kentucky's number, he's not going to turn that down. We've seen them have a ton of money to throw around in the transfer portal market. And the other thing is too is Pope is probably on the hot seat. I would think. It has to be, and he's missed out. Kentucky's used to be in that blue blood team that can go out and get these 5-star high school kids, and Tyron Stokes just committed to Kansas, another one that Pope has missed out on. So the pressure's on him. Milan's only got 1 year of eligibility left. So, I mean, it stands to reason that he's got a pretty sizable offer. Probably would make more money playing for one season at Kentucky than maybe he would on a two-way. And I'm not sure what the two-way contract amounts are, but he'd probably make more at Kentucky for a year than he would, riding that two-way roller coaster in the NBA and G League.
And I saw something where Mark Pope did a live Twitter question and answer
How
thing.
does that go, Trent?
Well,
I'm sure that was great.
He took a couple of hard questions.
Oh,
I
good.
was surprised. Yeah, there were a couple. He said though in the clip that I saw, they had 14 of the top 20 transfers took a visit to Kentucky. Guess how many got to commit?
Zip.
0.
Wow. Kentucky.
And the thought is out there, a lot of these players are using Kentucky for leverage and then going other places on top of it. Yeah,
what a world we live in.
Absolutely. A different world. There is no doubt about it. Hey, Bill, I did have a quick football question for you. I was reading your article over previewing the safeties and trying to figure out outside of Drew Surgis, who the hell are these guys? As we're doing all the time. Braden Alls, though, that was the big story, really, his injury and being lost for the season with the ACL. Does he have a redshirt year available? Will he be able to be available for 2027?
Well, I think he's got a medical that he can use. Okay. I believe he's already used a traditional, but I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he could get a medical. They're handing out redshirt years like candy anymore, and he's got a legit case for a medical. I mean, he's out for the entire year. He's got a knee injury. So he could come back in 2027. There's no doubt about that. I think it's just a matter of if he wants to, go through the whole process and come back. I think he'd be welcomed back. They've got a pretty big gap, as you saw, Trent, on that layout. A pretty huge gap between seniors, and then it gets pretty thin and you get into sophomore and freshmen. A lot of redshirt freshmen and freshmen in that group. They've got a pretty young nucleus there, but I think no doubt that Braden Alls would be welcome back in 2027 and be a huge piece. But, going back to the original point, it really is wide open. At that spot right now, they've got two redshirt seniors, a traditional senior and a fourth-year junior, and Drew Surgis. We've talked about him a lot. I think those are probably the 4 that are in the mix right now for those 2 starting roles. And, they'll have that nickel/hybrid type of safety that switches in and out with a Sam linebacker in this scheme as well. So we'll see how that all sorts out, but a lot more unsettled, I think, than what it was the beginning of the spring when everybody knew Alls was going to be one of those starters.
I was also taking a peek, and I appreciate over the weekend that you updated the unofficial scholarship chart. I just love looking at those things. We've talked about this a little bit this spring with Iowa football and how young they are and the lack of seniors. Same thing for Iowa State. Who knows what year number 1 is going to look like, but there's going to be a ton of guys that at least have the opportunity to come back, and feels like a pretty good building block here, guys with a lot of years of eligibility remaining.
Yeah, there are. And I think, this staff is going to be a lot more aggressive in the portal. They had to be this year. There's no secret in that. But I think when they get settled in, they're going to be more aggressive probably than the old staff. So you look at the number of underclassmen, those guys, and this is an evaluation time for those guys. Are they? The staff was not, they had no qualms about if there was not a spot for a guy on the old team. he wasn't welcome back on the new team. And I think they'll have a serious assessment of everyone on this roster. It's not just seniors that they'll lose. You know, they'll have some other guys that they just don't think can cut it at this level. Character issues, what have you. So yeah, I mean, they'll look at those younger guys too, and then the ones that they think are cut out for this level, make a nice nucleus for future seasons, and then they'll go out into the portal. And we were talking about this kind of the other media guys on the Iowa State beat after spring ball, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least if they go out and they go get probably 30 more transfers this offseason. They'll need to replenish the senior class that they lost. And then there will be just those junior, sophomore, freshmen that they just don't think have a future in the program, and they'll make no qualms about it that they don't have a spot for them, and they'll go hit the portal again for 30. And then that's the way things are these days. And it is a business. All these guys are getting paid, so that's just kind of how things go.
Indeed, it is. Good stuff, Bill Seals, CycloneReport.com, CycloneReport.com. Bill will have you covered on all the Iowa State news that happens during the week, and we'll speak with you a week from today, Bill Seals. Thanks for popping on again, as always. Thanks, Bill.
Looking forward to it, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you're the same. Bill Seals, CycloneReport.com on Iowa State. Trent's Plays of the Day, Circus Sports, sponsor those. Those are coming up next. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
At Kia of Des Moines, it's been 1 year since the unveiling of our new state-of-the-art showroom. So we're celebrating all month long. It's our anniversary sale, and you get the gift. Shop and save on all of your favorite new Kias with financing as low as 0.9% for 60 months. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Kia of Des Moines. Shop KiaDM.com. With approved credit for well-qualified buyers. Valid on new 2026 Kia Sportage models. $1,705 per thousand finance monthly. Must finance through KMF. Expires 6/1/26.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Coin. That's coin. Enter it now. KXNO.com.
You probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-200-1966, 800-200-1966, or biglou.com.
Save big money on your automotive needs at Menards. Good maintenance equals longer vehicle life. Help prevent costly repairs with Shell Rotella T6 heavy-duty diesel motor oil. It offers better fuel economy, excellent wear protection, and improved deposit control. A gallon jug is on sale now through May 17th. Visit us in-store to see our entire selection of automotive products. And check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Get off the bench and into the game with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strange. Tune in weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network. You're listening to Miller and Condon. Off the bench with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain is on deck here on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Final few minutes of our Monday program. Off the bench coming up next. Friends Plays of the Day, Circus Sports sponsor those. If you haven't done so already, Circus Sports, our trip for our 25th, our silver anniversary. Somebody's going to win a Circa experience. It's going to be fascinating. You're going to be a ball out there. You're getting out there Sunday night, correct?
Yes.
Do your show Monday, your show Tuesday.
Show Wednesday.
Show Wednesday. Sean and Lucas will be doing the same thing.
Maybe throw a few dice. I've been known to do that.
You're
from time to
planning on
time.
doing that?
Yeah, I think it'll
Just a shame.
Yeah, I'll find a way.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, yes, that will happen. We'll have fun.
All right.
We always have.
Well, save some of that fun till Tuesday because I'm not getting there till Tuesday.
I will. Don't worry. This old man's still in Vegas. They pump in that oxygen, and I am raring to go.
You know where I want to have dinner on Tuesday night?
You want to?
I want to go. Go ahead. So what do I want to do?
You want to go to 8 East?
I don't. It's really good.
Yes.
I want to go to that Pizza Rock.
Oh, you love Pizza Rock? Yes, you do.
That Detroit style pizza. I've
Yes.
only had it once in my life. It
Uh-huh.
is so freaking good.
It is so good.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
filling.
Oh yeah.
But if you've been slugging beers all day, you can get
Yeah.
a couple pieces down.
No, and then we did just that.
Uh-huh.
So save that one. For
Save
me.
that one.
Do
Okay,
your
got it.
80s. It's really good. I mean, it's hard
Yes.
to you can't. You
The
can't
brisket, fried
Oh
rice.
my God! Hold the egg. Add the chicken.
That's what you do, huh?
That's what I do. That's
Protein heavy.
Heck yeah. Well, you got to. You're in Vegas. You're going to need that energy.
There is no doubt.
What are you? So just be at the beginning of the show. My theory was, as I bore Trent's tinfoil hat,
Yes.
that the Lakers are going to win this game tonight because LeBron James the final game is the Lakers not going to be on Prime Video. That's not going to happen. The game Wednesday night, should there be one, would be on ESPN. So if they do lose, what's his prop tonight, points wise?
Oh, LeBron tonight. Let's see. Jump on the prop page over here. Our prop picks brought to you also by unjuiced.bet. And with the promo code KXNO, you get 30% off. 22.5.
22.5. I think he has a big game.
Big game.
Maybe it's not big enough to beat Oklahoma City because they're really good.
I'm going to jump aboard with you. I'm putting it in there right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Best price. 22.5. There it is. All right. It's in there. So now I got 7 picks.
Okay.
LeBron over.
What
22.5.
are your others?
Others. We got Weathers tonight going for the Yankees. We're going to go over 5.5 strikeouts.
Yankees
for
got
him.
swept.
That they did by the Brew Crew for the first time since 1989.
Was it really?
The Brewers swept them in a 3+ game series. I am also going with the youngster for the Giants, the McDonald kid.
Yeah.
He was really good in his first start. Had 8 strikeouts there. We'll go right back to the well. 3.5 is the number. He had 8 in his first one.
We're playing the Dodgers.
He is playing the Dodgers. We're going to go over 3.5 strikeouts tonight. One more prop for you. Tobias Harris over 17.5 points this evening in that one. I am going to play Detroit. I got a 4 in the market. I'm going to grab the Pistons in the 4. I think we're going to get a really good battle there. Fading your Blue Jays tonight. I'm getting Rasmussen and plus money. Plus 113 at Circa.
Tampa's in first place in the American League East.
They are. They're doing it again.
Yeah.
Need to bring back the devil name of the Devil Rays because they're doing it with devil dust. Plus 113 with the Rays tonight. And finally, I'm playing the Avalanche.
Yeah, I think you should.
Minus 135 at Circa. That's the best price you're going to find in the market.
That big of a favorite on the road?
And did you see what they did at goalie?
No, what are they doing?
Take a guess because it is official.
Wedgwood.
They're going Blackwood.
Are they?
They're going with Mackenzie Blackwood here.
Sticking with them. You only gave one? I gave up one. Gave up one? Yeah.
And I think that was empty. No, never wasn't it?
No,
or was there one that
was
was
one
right
other.
when he came in?
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. Off the bench is coming up next. I'm going to take the days off, TC. Steer the ship for the next two. He'll be back tomorrow at noon. Miller and Condon, weekdays, noon to 2. Talk sports with you on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Our home is 30 years old, and so is our sliding glass door. It leaks, it's hard to open and close, it looks worn out, and I've done